What's up, y'all? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's get into and recap and review Dancing Queens. This is season 1, episode 2. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So the episode opens up and we're still at the tri-state competition. We find out that Donnie might have like some disease that affects like her bladder or her colon. So she's rushing to the bathroom before they get on the dance floor. Sabrina is freaking out. Stas is telling Sabrina to get it together, girl, because we about to get on this floor. So we see all the couples get on the dance floor. They let us know that 9 couples dance on their dance floor. So they can move all over the dance floor. So they say some dancers might bump into each other and that deducts points, but everyone's dancing on the dance floor at the same time. So we find out that it's 9 couples, but 6 of the couples get to transition to the finals. So what they're dancing in now is the semifinals. So everyone's kind of worried. We end up meeting Gael. Gael is featured in the cast photo, but they didn't give us a lot of tea about her, honestly. We just find out that Gael's dance partner, who's the pro, his name is Nino. And ever since Gael and Nino became a partnership or a team, they've been racking up. It's just they've been really doing well, and Gael is still fairly new to the dancing scene. So everyone kind of views Gael as like a dark horse. So they get on the dance floor. Remember, they're doing the 5 dances, which is the cha-cha, the rumba, the samba, the paso de sol. Hey, I got to be right this time, and the jive. So they explain to us that they only get like, I guess, 5 minutes. They only get like a minute and a couple of seconds to dance to the actual song, and then like maybe a couple of seconds to like take a deep breath, and then they transition to the next song. So they dance all 5 dances and they are scored on the dances. Them dancing was like my favorite part of this whole entire episode. Watching them dance, I thought everyone looked great. I mean, like I don't have a critical eye for dancing, but I enjoyed watching everyone dance. I thought Gael's costume and Sabrina's costumes were really nice, but Sabrina's costume I liked the most out of everybody, even the people who aren't a part of the show's outfits. I just like that black with the pinks and the purples and the orange. It just popped on her. Like it looked really well on her. So they're dancing. Sabrina and Stas almost kind of like get into it, under their breath while they're dancing, because they made the same mistake that they did on the first episode when they were doing practice, where they're dancing, and then one of their dance moves, I think it's with the cha-cha, like Stas, I think, spins Sabrina around, or Sabrina does a spin around him. And then when he leaves out the left hand that's supposed to be guiding her, either Sabrina feels like he lets her go. Stas feels like, girl, you be walking away from me. You be letting go of me. So he looking at her like, girl, get it together. But they get it together. And I thought it was going to be a deduction on her part, but it wasn't. Because then the composition transitions. Once they're done dancing, they all, I guess, tally up the votes to see who gets to transition to the final category. So out of the 9 couples who dance, only 6 of them get to go to the finals. And out of all of the girls that were dancing that we know of, so that would be Gael, Donnie, Colette, and Sabrina, Colette is the only one that does not make it to the final round. So Colette is kind of shocked, and it's like a blow to her confidence, because when she was dancing with Christian, the dancer that dropped her, they always made it to the finals. So she's not used to not making it to the finals in the 5 years that she's been dancing. So she and Alex are like trying to have a conversation with production in the back, because production is asking her like, so how do you feel? What are you feeling? You then see Sabrina walk up kind of like excited and, running off of adrenaline that she made it to the finals. And she's like, oh my God, are y'all going to watch the finals? And Colette's like, Sabrina, go away. Like, I'm trying to say that we didn't make it to the finals. Like, go away. So Sabrina walks away kind of like, ooh, okay, girl, I didn't know you was going to be like that. And Alex and Colette are talking, and Colette is like, she wasn't the center of attention for 5 seconds. And now, like, it made her anxious. And like I said on episode 1, Colette and Sabrina are frenemies. They are not friends. Like, they are not friends. Because even in that moment, I understood Colette being upset that she didn't make it to the finals. But to give Sabrina that energy was kind of like, to me, misdirected, when I feel like she wanted to give Alex that energy, but she couldn't because you ain't want to lose a partner. Like, you ain't want to get dropped. And then finding out that Alex and Colette have only been dancing together for 3 months, like, I was just like, what are y'all expecting? Because throughout this whole episode 2 and episode 1, everyone was like really pushing the notion that, like, you need to build a great chemistry with your dance partner. Like, it translates better on the dance floor. And I'm like, okay, you don't build that in 3 months. Like, y'all just started practicing together. Why did you think in 3 months y'all were going to be like pristine, or you were going to be good enough to place? Now it makes sense why Leonie and what's his name and Koister decided that we're not about to embarrass ourselves at this competition. Like, we're gonna hone our skills before we go to another competition. So now Alex and Carlette are just looking at the ladies dance on the dance floor. They're dancing. There was this one couple, I think her name is Lindsay, and I don't know how to say that man's last name or that man's name, but I'm gonna call him Vladislava. Ooh. Y'all know me and names. But she was dancing. Lindsay, and I'm going to call this man Vlad. Lindsay and Vlad were out there. We're out there giving the girls what they needed to feel. Because I was like, oh, y'all are dancing. So we get to the time for the ladies to be scored on their placement. So Sabrina got second place, Gael got third, and Donnie got sixth. Donnie felt as though she should have been higher, and she was also saddened because her family came out to see her. We saw her mom and her brother watching her dance, and she was just like, I know I did better than getting sixth place. So she was a little upset. Sabrina was kind of taken aback by the fact that she made second place. But everybody in their confessionals was like, sis, you in a bigger pond with bigger fish that are either a lot better than you or at the same level as you. You gonna have to come harder because you're not dancing against kids anymore. So now she got to regroup. So everyone is tired but happy, and they all go back to their hotel rooms. And we have a moment between Sabrina and Colette that just proves to me that these ladies are not friends. So, like I said, Colette goes to Sabrina's room. And my thing about it is, in this whole little section, Colette got on my nerves. Because Colette threw the first punch of shade. And then when Sabrina, punched her back, all of a sudden it's woe is me. And are you really trying to hurt me? So Colette goes by Sabrina's room because she felt bad for lashing at her or lashing out at her. When she asked about, were you guys gonna watch when we do the semifinals or whatever. So they're having a conversation. Colette brings up Lindsay. Lindsay and her partner, I think his name is Vladislava. Ooh, I don't know if I said that right. But they won first place in the B category. And Colette pretty much is like, yeah, she was dancing way better than all of y'all. And then she kind of rubs it in Sabrina's face that she didn't place first. She placed second. So Sabrina is kind of like, ooh, okay, girl, I see the shade. So then Sabrina pivots it back to her and she's like, well, what's going on with you and Alex? Like, the chemistry, y'all were really rusty out there. And Colette didn't know what to say back. But Colette is in her confessional talking about, are you trying to hurt me? Even though prior to that confessional, when she was telling Sabrina about how much Lindsay was better than everybody and how her technique was way above everyone else's, Colette was in her confessional talking about, I believe in being honest with my friends. And Sabrina was honest with you. You and Alex look rusty. Get it together, And my thing about the dynamic with Colleen and Sabrina is very much, Colleen thinks she's better than Sabrina because Colleen is a working mother and, she's taking care of her child and she has her own business, while Sabrina is a stay-at-home mom who married rich. Colleen is that type of woman who thinks she is so much superior than any housewife because it's like, I got this out the mud and everything's been handed to you. Because the way she tries to demean Colleen, trying to always be like, she always wants to be the center of attention. She always wants to be a center of attention. And I'm like, yes, Sabrina can act that way. We've noticed it. I find Sabrina to be mad whiny, but you're the only one who keeps bringing that out. You're the only one who keeps bringing that up. Donnie ain't said nothing. We haven't got Gael or what's her name or Leonie's point of view, but you're the only one that keeps bringing up that Sabrina wants to be the center of attention. Maybe that's your problem. Maybe you just can't take the light that's shining off of her. Because it's not that deep, sis. It's not. So we get the Donnie. Donnie is practicing in New York. Her and her dance partner are looking at a video of them dancing. And the dance partner is just kind of like, I don't know why we didn't place higher, because they felt like they did really well. But then he starts bringing up about how, there's a certain aesthetic in this culture where you have to fit it. Mainly talking about like her body. She a lot bigger than the other ladies. But I also feel like it's more to it than that. And I'll get to it after I get through her scenes. And she's like, yeah, I know what he means. She talks about how, I'm not that skinny. My hair, I don't wear the long hair pieces. And like, my dresses aren't that revealing as all the other women. So then we see her talking to her mom while she's at her apartment, eating her food. And we find out that unfortunately her dad recently passed away and it's been taking a toll on her. She also talks about how like she knows around the time she started gaining more weight. And come to find out it was around the time her dad passed away, because they show a video of her in 2014 where she was a lot skinnier versus now in 2022, 2023. So she's up, she's taking that in. My thing about Donnie is, I don't think Donnie is happy with her body, but I don't think, I don't. I've been struggling trying to say this, but as someone who is fat, Donnie moves in a way of that she's not okay with her body, or like she's uncomfortable with her body. It seems to me that this is probably the first time that Donnie has ever been this heavy in her life, and she's trying to navigate and maneuver it. And that's okay. That's okay. But I also kind of look at her like, why is this such an issue for you in the sense of like competition wise, when you know that the judges want a certain look for you to place? You know what I mean? Like you have to have a certain look to get high ranks. So I'm like, if you're not going to lose weight, which she shouldn't have to, because I think she looks fine, then okay, girl, find one of the black girls, one of the Latin chicks who know how to sew in a mean 613 and put that in your head during competition. We can have them do your head. Or or you're in the outfits. You're going to have to start switching up your outfits. Because if you compare Donnie's outfits and her aesthetic to all the other ladies, she's not on the same of like the whole sexy kind of thing, because it seems like that is one of the things that plays into ballroom. And Donnie don't be giving that. Neither does her dance partner. He was fully covered during their competition. But then when you look at everybody else, dancers like Alex, Stas, and Nino, their chest was out. They had a little medallion on, and them pants were tight as hell. And then when you look at Donnie's outfit compared to the other ladies, yes, it's short, but like it didn't have no slits on the side. It was like you got to give them, you have to like do more or like counteract it. You know what I mean, girl? Like, when you're fat, you have to do more. You have to do more for people to like see you more. And I'm just kind of like, if you're bigger than the other women, then you have to like do other things to like set yourself apart from them. So I feel like, girl, because they showed the people in the C category, that's the ladies that are like 51 to 60. Mima had her yams and her melons out, and she was shaking them and shimmying them. Like if Mima, who is probably 59 or 60 something years old, is out there doing getting it together, then you could do the same. So I either need Donnie to accept her body, or we're gonna have to start doing more. And what I mean by that, I mean like, if you're not going to accept your body, then it's time that like we have to start, doing things to get to the weight you want to get to. If you are going to accept your body, then you need to start challenging the establishment. You need to start bringing up that it's not fair that I'm not placed in high because I'm this size. It's not fair that I'm not especially if I'm dancing my heart out and I'm doing way better than the other women. But I don't think she gonna do that, because I don't think she is okay. But I feel like she trying to act like she is, and that's starting to annoy me. So we then have Leonie meeting up with her friend that has these god-awful cornrows in her head. It was giving very much Larsa Pippen when Larsa had them braids in her head. They was chunky and they was ugly because it's not meant for your hair. And I tried to get the lady a pass. I was like, maybe she mixed. But then they showed a picture of her. I was like, this is a full-blown white lady. Why do you have those braids in your hair, ma'am? Why? So she has the braids in her head. They're horrible. And her and Leonie start to discuss. We find out that Deborah and Leonie been friends for a really long time. And Leonie starts talking about how pretty much, she is still battling the issues of her childhood when it comes to being in dance. Like, her dad was always like, don't come speak to me unless you're number one. And the mom was always saying, like, you're just a pretty face. Why don't you model? You're not smart enough. And that was a blow to her confidence. So when she dances, all she hears in her head is, you need to be perfect. The other parts of her mom being like, you're not good enough. So that's what she's battling. She lets her friend Deborah know that she's not going to New Orleans, which is the next competition. She's going to go to the one in Atlantic City. She really likes Koister, but Koister was the one that came up with the idea that was like, hey, we probably not ready for Atlantic City, but we probably need to, no, not Atlantic, New Orleans, but we definitely need to go to Atlantic City. So we then have a scene of Sabrina with her daughters. They're coming back from school. She put leggings in a bag. I was like, why are you gifting them leggings? Unless they're like them Lululemon leggings, so they probably like 50 or 80 or 70 something dollars. But she ends up using it as like a soft blow to tell the girls that she's not going to be participating in Passover with them, which is a very significant Jewish holiday. And the husband walks up like, what you talking about? Like, reasonably perturbed. And he's like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, I have a competition on that day. And he was like, dancing is a hobby. That is not your life. And she's like, yeah, I know. But like, I did not place where I wanted to place. I didn't place first. So I really want to place first here. So like, I'm going to that competition. The dad tells his daughters, y'all get out of here so me and your mama can talk. So while they're having this discussion, the daughters tried to walk back into the kitchen while they were talking. And I couldn't tell if this was a fake like storyline argument or real, but at the end it kind of felt real because the husband was like, I'll support you, but I'm not happy. Because she was like, well, tell me you're okay with it. He was like, I'm not okay with it. Emotionally, no, but I'll let you have it. And she was like, well, this is just be the only holiday like I'll miss. Like, I've been at every other holiday. And what we find out is that dancing has brought life back into Sabrina because she was like, I was stuck with them for 2 years. I was stuck with them for 2 years during the pandemic. And like, I was helping them with school. My husband was at home every day. I was trying to get to know neighbors, everything and nothing. It was just, she feels alive again. So we see her and Stas about to practice. We find out that it's his 40th birthday. His family gifted him a trip to Mexico for a whole entire week. And this is the last time that they're going to practice for New Orleans. She ends up being like, I thought we both cared about dancing. Because now she got an attitude with him. And I'm looking at her like, girl, it's his 40th birthday. It's a surprise trip. Dancing is dancing. Like, I'm low-key looking at you like you crazy. And this is the problem. This is the problem, especially for housewives that don't have anything other than their children or their husbands, is you start to cling on to hobbies and act like those hobbies are like life or death situations. Like, he's 40. He wants to turn up for his birthday. Let him turn up for his birthday. Like, y'all got second place. You are too pressed to get first place because you don't have anything else. You don't have a career that you can use. Dancing is your career, but not really because you're not a professional dancer. Like, Sabrina started to piss me off getting an attitude with him because I'm like, it's his 40th birthday. It's not like he sprung it on you last minute. Like, he just found out today that his family wanted to take him there. If I was him, I'm going to Mexico. Screw this little like competition in New Orleans. Girl, miss me with this attitude. So the last person we're going to talk about is Colette. We see Colette and her son getting ready to take him to go play baseball. You know, she talks about the different, like the ups and downs of being a parent of a disabled child. But all in all, she loves her son and she wouldn't change it for the world. She also talks about how, you know, like, I had these dreams for him, but those were my dreams, not his. But, you know, they're working through it. We then see her meet up with her friend Angel, and they start to discuss the whole thing about Christian and her breaking up. My thing about it is Colette is acting like a scorned lover, like a girlfriend that got jilted. Like, she's acting like this is like her ex-boo, and it's weird to me because you're paying this man to dance with you. Like, he's not doing it out the kindness of his heart. Then Angel was getting on my nerves because Angel is like feeding into the delusions. Because I'm like, yes, you build a bond with someone. I definitely get it. You build a bond with someone, but at the end of the day, this is still a transactional relationship because someone is getting paid for their time and their services. So that would always keep me grounded for me not to think that there was more to this than that. And I don't know if there is, but she acting like it. And maybe this is why Donnie is like, I keep my relationship with old boy real professional. Like, we don't be doing all of that. But we end up meeting the person that took Christian, or who Christian left Colette for. Her name is Pooja. Yeah, maybe when I hear her name again, I'll probably be able to say it better. But she's 36. So far, she's the youngest one on the cast because we don't know how old Gael is. But she's 36. We have Colette reading the text message that he sent to her as his way of breaking up with her. So Christian sent this text message and it goes, "Hey, so there's something I wanted to discuss with you. It's been really difficult trying to split my competitive time between you and Pooja." She says, I've been thinking it over, and I feel like I need to stop with one of you now that you compete in the same category. I feel like Pooja would just quit completely if she is not dancing with me, and that would be such a shame since she has worked so hard. He says, I hate having to do this, and I hope you understand I am always here for you if you need. And he did a smiley face. She said F that because she was mad about it. I understand Colette being mad, but to me, I feel like maybe Pooja is a better dancer than Colette, and she's younger than Colette, which means he could dance with her in that category a lot longer, because we don't know how old Christian is, but Christian looks a lot younger than Colette, which makes me feel like he wanted to dance with somebody his own age, or somebody that he could start to win in this category, because in 2 years Colette's gonna have in 3 years, Colette's going to have to transition into the C category if she continues to dance. And maybe he's not that old, but she was in her feelings. She then over here started crying, talking about, I just realized it was just a work relationship. He was my partner. Like, I cried for 2 weeks. I just realized he saw this as a job. Yes, it was a job. That's why it makes me feel like, was y'all smashing? Because you acting like you were. And then it ended there. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic and hop down in them comments below. Deuces.